It's week 2 of the National Football League, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Cardinals and the Raiders coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Arizona Cardinals and the Las Vegas Raiders. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at our two quarterbacks in this one, I'd say it's a study in contrast. Young versus, well, let's say experienced. Kyler Murray of the Cardinals, Derek Carr of the Raiders.
And you are on point about that because you definitely don't say old now. That won't gain you any points, but you're right. You got one guy who's still kind of figuring things out, still at that point where he's learning more with each game he plays. And then on the other side of the field, you've got a guy who's kind of seen it all at this point. Maybe his body's slowed a little, but the knowledge of the game, still top-notch, and he can win with his mind.
Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. And as the Raiders take over on offense, we get to see the man who has been the leader of this team for 9 seasons now, under center Derek Carr.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup. Threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I've got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
Right to the air is Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. The Raiders had 0-1 of the year following the loss in the opener. They were losers their last time out, trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Carr now to throw. He's going to find and complete it to Renfrow. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 44-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw taken in by Adams. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards, the final tally.
First down for Devontae Adams in his first season with the Las Vegas Raiders. Over the previous 2 years in Green Bay, he led the NFL in receptions and touchdowns, and he's building off of a 123-catch, 1,500-yard season. Now, of course, in Raiders black and silver instead of Packers green and gold.
On first down, Carr. The open man here, Renfrow. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the Cardinals' 6-yard line.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Raiders get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. And whatever they said appears to have worked. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. On the return, Rondale Moore will bring it out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Arizona's offense takes the field, and no surprises, the man that's guiding them, the Pro Bowler in his 4th season at the wheel of this offense, Kyler Murray.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup, threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I've got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Now a draw play. This is counter. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Murray. Forced out to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Bilal Nichols in there to take him down.
They just gave him a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave him 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. They're just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders will take over possession here up at the 44. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Now after the INT, it's Carr. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A check on the numbers a week ago for Waller. 7 catches, 75 yards.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy the defenses had better focus on.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Holding, offense.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Carr. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on third down. Now Carr. And it's complete to Adams. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Carr going to give it to Jacobs, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Now Carr. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. They go with Jacobs. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
Into the red zone. It's Carr. And a pass complete to Waller on the out route. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
That's certainly one way to beat the blitz. Get it out of your hands quickly. Get it to the big fella.
Very effective. Saw the pressure, got rid of it, and the completion ensued. Ball resting on the 10-yard line. It's 2nd and 1. To throw his Carr. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Here's Carr. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see Charles come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Jacobs. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. One more time with Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Raiders have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends were on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. For this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Carlson on for the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line.
Holding offense.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Murray a give. This is counter. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race. But how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Murray. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2. Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Raiders football 1st and 10. So here are the Raiders now to take over. They've got the lead here as they begin this drive, trying to get that bad taste out of their mouth from the loss last week to the LA Chargers. Carr now on 1st down. Got a man and he hits him in stride. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
It's a gain of 7.
Here's Carr to throw. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3-and-out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. Play action. Now it's Carr. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Brings up 3rd down and 1.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he is going to lose yardage here. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he'll be out right at the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Murray. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. second down. Connor looking for space. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 2, and here's Murray. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10.
Week 2 underway around the NFL. And a reminder that later tonight it'll be Chicago and Green Bay in the Packers home opener. The 101st season of that great rivalry. They had the 100th anniversary last year. And then tomorrow night a treat, a Monday night doubleheader. Tennessee and Buffalo, 7:15 Eastern. And then Minnesota and Philly kicking off a little over an hour later.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On play action, now Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Throwing now is Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked by Deontay Thompson. And the Cards are going to take possession of the football.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now. Showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
After the turnover, here's Murray.
And that's complete. It's Green here. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. Throwing again on 2nd down. Murray. And he goes right back to Green. He's got it complete.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection.
On 1st and 10 is Counter.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
From the gun, a give to Counter. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We've got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Murray. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3.
They'll run for it with Counter. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. A chance to get some momentum here in the 2nd quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in. I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage. There's just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a fourth down. On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. Now Murray says, hang on here. He'll step back and call a timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That one's all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
On second down, there's the option going left. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. From the gun on third down, Murray. And that will be incomplete. Now Andy Lee will come on to punt this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And they will take over first and 10. And now here come the Raiders. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Throwing his car on third down. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up fourth. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cards will take over first and 10. On first and 10, here's Murray. Over the middle, complete. That's Connor. Cardinals got to go quickly. Hustling to the line. Looking to throw again on second down. Murray. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first. Now Murray. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Denzel Perryman with a sack. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Another try after the first down sack. Murray, he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jayon Brown. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And now following that turnover, they've got an opportunity here to try to cash in with good field position before intermission.
Toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. To throw again on second down. Carr. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
That's a gain of 4.
Carr going to throw. He finds his man. Complete. That's Jacobs. The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So Carr will depart, and on comes the Raider kicker Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. That's just 32 yards officially from the right hash. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And no run back here for more. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25. Well, the Cardinal offense going to take over late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throw left side complete. That's Connor. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
A dime look defensively for the Raiders on 3rd down.
Yeah, you're right. 2 extra DBs out there.
From the gun, Murray.
Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Murray to air it out again. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Back to the air on 2nd down, it's Murray. And he finds his tight end, it's Ertz.
So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top.
As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Cardinals. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Cardinals ready to go here to start the third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Murray now on first down. To Connor on the check down. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field.
We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Second and 10. They run behind center with Connor. And some room to work. And this is going to be a Cardinals first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line. They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray towards the end zone for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. To throw again on second down. Murray. And his throw is going to be incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Murray going to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, here's your bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. Here's Murray. Screen pass to Connor. 5 yards. Now it's third and 5. Murray now to throw. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
Well, partner, it's almost a little jarring to see a holder set up on the other side of midfield. I haven't brought out my binoculars to make sure on that one. That is showing an awful lot of confidence in the kicker to try and hit from 61 yards, and this one winds up no good.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. On first down, Carr, and he'll find Moreau here. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. Carr. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. The Cardinal offense takes back over. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Holding offense.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Steps away to his left. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and long. Murray. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll get this to Connor underneath. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Andy Lee now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Quick update from Levi's Stadium. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Carr now on 1st down. The open man here, Renfro. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left to try to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
2nd down at 4. Carr now to throw. Back to Renfro again, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Oh, boy, hang on here. J.J. Watt appears to be injured, or at least shaken up on that last play. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Carr now on 1st down. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Chewing up big yardage, another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Play action. Now it's Carr. And this one is incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Throwing now is Carr. And that is incomplete. So Carr exits on 4th down, and on comes Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They're in a bit of a bind, a pretty big bind, down 20-0 as they start here on 1st and 10. To throw is Murray. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Max Crosby able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
After the sack on first down, Murray had a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Here's Andy Lee now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Raiders offense ready to go.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Open man, that's Renfro.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. The Carr's throw going to be taken in by Cole, and he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
That's good.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line.
He was brought down at the 26.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Now Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Throwing on first down is Carr. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
3rd quarter from Southern Nevada. Here's a 2nd and 10.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. Touchdown! Darren Waller from 13 yards out.
And the Raiders are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. So, Charles, the bad taste from that opening week loss, that's just a memory now. This has been a very strong performance as they score once again.
Yeah, I know it's only week 2, but you're exactly right because this team thought they let one get away in the opener. And not only were they determined to not let the same thing happen here, they knew that they had to correct a bunch of things. So everything that went wrong in game 1, they took care of business with it in game 2.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. From the gun on third down, Murray. And that will be incomplete. Now Murray's got to have this one. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. The Cardinals unable to convert there on fourth down. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2. If they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Going on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. On 2nd and 7. Carr working the middle here. That's complete to Moreau, the tight end. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown the one in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continues to work on it during the game. I'm sure he's getting plenty of reminders about how to...
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Raiders have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I'd probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Arizona's offense back out and ready to go. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of...
Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked off by Jayon Brown. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. Down right around the 25. second down. Jacobs once more.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Throwing his car on third down.
The slant connects with Davante Adams. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. On second and 9. Carr. Throw right side into the hands of Foster Moreau. From the gun now on third down. Carr. And he's got it. Touchdown Raiders. Davante Adams with career touchdown number 75. And the Raiders add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad is on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed watching their execution throughout this contest.
That time a 6-play drive.
And Davante Adams able to finish things with a touchdown reception.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return.
And all deep in his own territory, coughs up the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself.
And he lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through, and that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth-quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs.
To about the 26 here. Balled at the 26, 2nd and 7.
Once again, it's Jacobs. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. Now Carr. That's caught by Waller out left side.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I love it. He ran a hitch route on 3rd and 6, and normally that's not deep enough to get your first down. I'd say he really ran a hitch plus to make sure he got the first down yardage. Really intelligent route running.
Yeah, because what do you say, hitches are normally 1 to 3?
Yeah, somewhere in the neighborhood. You just kind of come off the line of scrimmage and kind of show yourself to the quarterback and say, hey, here I am, present it. He went in and took it far enough downfield to make sure that they had enough yardage to pick up the first down.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 2nd and 5 now. Carr. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
The downside for the defense is that they're dealing with a team that's in their red zone, but the upside, not much room to work with for the offense. Fewer windows in the zone for them to throw into. Tough for a quarterback to get a throw off.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked by Deontay Thompson. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Phillips now from the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
So out come the Raiders.
We've paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but, they are deserving as they start another series. To be leading by this much with so much time left to play in the 4th, Charles, it's really, really been impressive to watch.
It has been, and you have to think to yourself, the preparation that went into this, but the absolute focus that they kept throughout, in order to have this kind of a result, this is Super Bowl-esque, and they've got to feel awfully good about what they put out there today.
And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
A gain of 3. It's 4th down.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Returning it is Moore. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Again, they'll throw with Murray. And the reception made by Green. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Meanwhile, Murray's throw here complete into the hands of Ertz. From the 41, Murray escaping the front. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. Zach Ertz has it complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of 40.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Murray sets to throw on 4th. Going deep for Hopkins. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Raider D, they get the football back. And that makes them now 0 for 3 on 4th down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on 4th down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 42-yard line.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Taken down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 9.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for Las Vegas, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams.